All right, let's get started. You're going to get 5 seconds between each question and 45 seconds to answer. The faster you answer, be careful. There you go. What causes bhakti in our heart? Previous pious activities, the Lord's partiality, by unknown good fortune, or the partiality of a devotee? You have 45 seconds to answer the question. No, different kinds of questions. It's done. It's done. It was only a single question. Okay, so 15 people got it right. Wonderful. 9, 3, and 6. Another 15 did not get it right. Okay, let's get to the next question. Bhakti is never dependent on other paths such as Jnana Yoga or Karma Yoga. However, Jnana Yoga and Karma Yoga, are dependent on Bhakti. Is this true or false? Right? And time's up. 27 got it right. Wow. Excellent. Very good. Okay, question 3. Bhakti is dependent on purity of the place, time, and candidate. True or false? Actually, this should be like 10 seconds, right? This is pretty easy. We'll wait for 25 seconds. It's only a little bit. What's that? Yeah. Everyone awake? Just checking. Okay. Time's up. 31 out of 33. Okay, pretty good. Question 4. Okay, it's going to get a little tougher. What do the first 2 leaves of the Bhakti Creeper represent? Knowledge of detachment, Bhakti and the Bhakta, removal of suffering and the ushering in of auspiciousness, or primary faith and association? What are those 2 leaves? What's that? Pen later if you need them. Okay, thanks. Okay. All right, let's see how devotee did. Wow, 20 got it right. Perfect. All right, question number 5 of 9. What is Abhinivesh Klesha? Is it ignorance? Is it attachment? Is it clinging to bodily enjoyments, bodily identification, or hatred? Yeah, you can check your notebooks. If you've taken notes, you can certainly check your notebooks. Yeah, no problem. It's fair game. All right. 13 got it right. Okay. A little less than half. Question number 9. Question number 6. Bestowing auspiciousness means to receive beautiful qualities such as friendliness, forgiveness, and simplicity. True or false? And let's see what happens. Time's up. 29 got it right. Very good. Question 7. We're almost to the end here. Which of these are symptoms of unsteady bhajana kriya? Anishtata bhajana kriya. The tendency to be indecisive and struggle with the senses, being slow in chanting and understanding concepts, inability to preach and distribute books. Which of these are symptoms of unsteady bhajana kriya? And time's up. Wow, most everyone got it right. Amazing. Question 8. Put the stage of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya in order. Now you have to put them in order. There's 6 of them. Okay, you have 10 seconds left. Time's up. You'll get partial. It didn't allow you to do it. Anyway, 6 people got it right. So you'll get partial credit. All right, last question. Final question. Get ready. Sadhu Sangha means, this is in the book, Sadhu Sangha means associating with any devotee, associating with only the most elevated devotees, or associating with affectionate, like-minded, and more realized devotees. What does Sadhu Sangha mean? And this is the last question. Three more seconds. There you go. Wow, 28 devotees got it right. Okay. Are we ready to see who's the winner? Stira! Haribol! Please give a round of applause. Here you go. I don't know if you have this book. It's called Relationship Rescue Remedy. 5-drop formula to improve your relationships. Okay. So does anyone need any paper or pen? This is a private journaling exercise. We have some pens and paper there if you'd like. You can return them a little later. So, number one, what were some of the key points that struck you from chapters 1 and 2, or even up to chapter 3 that we studied? How have you personally experienced the unfurling of Kleshagni, relief from material distress, and Shubhada, beginning of all auspiciousness, since you have started the bhakti practice? And third, consider these 6 stages of Anishtita Bhajana Kriya. What are some examples of your life that you have exhibited? Utsaha, Mahi, Ghanatarala, Vyuda Vikalpa, Vishesangara, Niyamakshama, and Tarangarangani. And which ones do you recognize are still prominent? Now keep in mind, this is a private journaling exercise, only between you and Krishna, or you and your piece of paper. Nobody's going to see this. This is just for you. You're only going to return the pens, not the paper. Okay? So take about 10 minutes to do this. And then once you've completed the journaling exercise, we'll break out into groups and discuss. Okay? I'm going to play some background music to kind of get us into the mood of inner contemplation. So about 2 more minutes. I hope that should be enough time. All right. If you need more time, you can certainly, during lunchtime, you can take some more private time while you're having lunch, kind of be by yourself and write down. This kind of introspection is really wonderful and really helpful for us to make progress in bhakti. So if you need to take a picture, feel free to take a picture and I'll move on to the next slide. Okay, so now let's break out into groups. Did you miss it? Yeah, okay, go ahead. All right, let's break out into groups of 4. You can do 3 or 5, ideally about 4 devotees. And I realize the font's a little small, sorry about that. As we're discussing these various questions, these are a few things to keep in mind. Number 1 is offer a caring and listening ear. Without trying to advise, that's a big one. Don't listen to respond, just listen. Listen and without judging, without advising to your group mates, attempt as much as you can to be vulnerable and freely share. I know sometimes that's difficult because we may not know the people with us. Sometimes some devotees feel happy when they don't know the person next to them because then they can say anything because it doesn't go back to their communities. But if, as best as you can, try to be vulnerable and share and avoid extended monologues. In other words, don't make the conversation only about you. It is about you, but not only about you, about the others as well. So allow others to share, be conscious of that. And don't rush to the questions just to get through all of them. But be aware of time and try to make sure everyone gets a chance to say something. So first, introduce yourself, your name, your family situation, which city you're from, and what you like most about the bhakti practice. Next question, how did bhakti begin for you? Right? That was the whole question, that was the whole point that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur was speaking in chapter 1. How does bhakti begin? So how did bhakti begin with you? And which Madhyama Adhikaris did Krishna allow his mercy to flow through for you, each one of us, to get bhakti? And then the last, anything you feel comfortable from the journaling you just did. Whatever you feel comfortable with, okay? And if you don't feel comfortable sharing any of what you wrote, no problem. Just the first two questions. Are the questions clear? Anyone need further clarifications? All right. Let's split up into groups of 4. You can move any part of this temple, but if you could stay within the temple room, that's fine. That would be wonderful. Thank you. And you have, it's 12:37. You will have up to 12:55. So we'll come back for the last 5 minutes to talk about takeaways. All right. Split up into groups of 4 ideally, but you can be 3 or 5 as well. Hare Krishna. How many groups have got to the last part, sharing things from the journal? Okay. If you can try to get to that part, that'd be beautiful. We only have about 7-8 minutes left. We have about 1 minute left. How many groups need a lot more time? How many need lot more time? Just one group? 2 groups? Any more need more time? You're good? Okay. So maybe we'll accommodate a little bit these 3 groups. We'll do 3 more minutes. I'm being really generous today. Hare Krishna, can we wind down? Hare Krishna. Maybe we can wind down and everyone sort of face towards the front. Sometimes it's really hard to stop, isn't it? Yeah, apologize for that. So now let's do some takeaways. 2 things. One, something that you want to share about your experience in the last hour, that we've sort of some of your takeaways, something that you particularly resonate with, or if you want to really appreciate someone else in your group, nice opportunity to appreciate the Vaishnavas, someone else that said something that was particularly inspiring. So any of those 2 things, your personal sharing or something you heard someone else say that touched your heart. Anyone wants to? Be brave. Mahati.
Our group has 2 young devotees from college, and it was very inspiring to see their enthusiasm in learning, and I could see they took good notes and they shared their experiences. So I got inspired to see their seriousness and commitment in learning and applying. And yeah. Yeah, they talked about working on the unsteadiness of bhakti, one of the points. The anishtita, so they chose one of them and then said they wanted to work on it, and I liked that. Even I wanted to work on it, so I got inspired with that.
Very nice. Which college? UNT. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anyone else? Shivash Charipu.
Particularly when we were discussing about the 6 things and where we are, from the journal notes, there's also a talk about, what are you able to, stay away from now? And we also talked about what is it that's helping you to really, get these things under control. And I had 2 things. One is, he said, every day I hear Srimad Bhagavatam, what's going on in my life, it comes up. And then another I heard from Ravi is that just so that I don't engage in sensual things, I push myself to find a service to do. And particularly a service where other devotees are there, so that during the service we can talk a little bit and get inspired. So these are the things that we already know, but when I hear, it's like the example Maharaj gives of, hammering the pole. It's always inspiring to see how somebody is practically applying. So that was nice.
Thank you. All right, anyone else? Thank you. Yeah.
I like Prabhasa Sutras, the original expansions of every incarnation is Krishna, and that is the verse we should be taking as a foundation, and any verse contradicting that verse should be left alone until we get a praman that continues in this that understands this verse. And transcendental knowledge does not destroy the body, because body is needed to forward the message of bhakti. These are the 2 takeaways, Prabhuji.
Beautiful takeaway. Krishna's God. That's the takeaway. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. One observation, Prabhu here, every time he had an opportunity to ask a question, he was ready with his question, and learned a lot, and so I appreciate it.
Keep the questions coming. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. Yeah, it's just a takeaway. It's really inspiring just to be around devotees. Main thing is how devotees come from all different backgrounds. It was inspiring to hear different people's stories, to hear where they come from. Some people born in, devotee families, some people not, but somehow or another, through our various lives, everybody's made their way to Krishna consciousness in some way, and that's just really nice to see.
Thank you. Yeah, the diversity in our movement is really beautiful. Okay, last one before we close out and have lunch. I don't want to keep you too long, otherwise I'll be between you and lunch. That's the worst place to be in the world. Anyone else? Last one? Yeah.
I would just like to say that all 3 of them devotees in my group, they all came into the movement through college preaching. Yeah, so that really inspired me. So that encourages me to focus more on college preaching. So that it really emphasizes on that, their experiences and background.
Do you know Maharaj also? Rampada Maharaj also joined college preaching until today. 55 years later, he's still doing college preaching. That's a nice note to end on. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We'll meet again tomorrow at noon to go through another quiz, another breakout sessions, and integrate more of the Anartha Nivritti piece. This is more on the stages of Bhajana Kriya. Tomorrow we'll be focusing on Anartha Nivritti. Okay? Hare Krishna.